Come and knock on our door.
Come and knock on our door.
We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for you.
Where the kisses are hers and his. Three's company too. Come and dance on our floor.
Come and dance on our floor.
Take a step that is new.
Take a step that is new.
Leave a lovable space that needs your face. Three's company too. Down at our rendezvous.
Down in our rendezvous. Three's company too.
You're looking live at the Three's Company Radio Show, broadcasting from the legendary studios of Governor's Comedy Club. My name's Jim Raya, and tonight I'm honored to be here with our guest, and I also have my co-host here, Bonnie Scalisi and Miss Mandy Jones.
What's up,
Tonight's
guys?
show is brought to you by Smash, Long Island's #1 upscale ping pong bar, and by which is located right here on Hempstead Turnpike, right next to the Governor's Comedy Club. And it's also brought to you by Coaster's Tavern, located in East Meadow, home of the friendliest open mic in all of America every Tuesday night. Okay? So, ladies, what's going on?
Oh my goodness, so much stuff always.
So, did you have fun at the Dan Romano show last week?
Oh my God, it was a
awesome.
marathon, but
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
so much fun. So much
I think
fun.
every second they were adding another comic. to
I
it.
know. Basically, everyone that was on the main stage that night just jumped over and was like, "Dan, let me do a set." We had Peaches Rodriguez.
Yes.
Teddy Smith was there. Who else did we have? Oh my God, it was packed.
Mike Keegan,
what is
right? Mike Keegan.
I think
what
some
is-
people got less
what's
of
the
Rett
little
syndrome
girl,
now.
the tiny Asian girl, Marcos? No, man.
I just saw him today.
I'm such a dick.
I'm drawing a blank.
It's all right. I'm a
it'll
dick.
come to me.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah,
I was
every
like,
comic
we
in
were
America
hilarious.
normally shows there like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it
This
was.
one was like 3
5
hours
hours.
long. Oh my
yeah.
God.
Well, I said to Dan, I was like, when can I get a copy of my thing? I'll pay for it. You know, he had a videographer there, and he's like, dude, he's like, I'll totally get it to you. He's like, it's just in time. Like, it's totally, the guy's still editing it, and it's like, yeah, it's because it's still going
See, I had
through. It's a
professional-
5 hour.
Film mine. Bonnie just filmed mine. Just took my camera.
There you go. There you go.
you can watch it that night. It's perfect, right?
Yeah, I got my husband. They're barbecuing at my house right now, and they're
Okay.
watching the show. So that's pretty awesome. And then Bonnie and I are gonna head back over there, and Jim can't make it, and then we're gonna watch the
so-
Dan Romano show. So we're actually doing a live watch party. You know, everyone
Okay.
does the parties on Facebook, but my husband was like, "Let's do a live watch party." So he's grilling, and it's pretty
can't wait.
awesome. I
So
think this is the
Bonnie
first
tells
episode
me-
he's watching. So I love you, baby.
Bonnie says her plan not to drive home drunk is just to
say that on
rest
air.
it off on the car. Like, that doesn't
Oh,
work.
Bonnie, I have a big couch. Just sit in my. You can lay
So
on my couch.
I
yeah.
heard this statistic this week, so I'll give it to Bonnie. This way,
Okay.
I'm not, she can't blame me. Okay, the 37% of the people in the first year of their divorce, okay, get a DWI.
It's because
Oh, yeah.
it's because they're
Reckless.
overcompensating for all the
Well,
not fun that
Bonnie,
they didn't have.
I told you, and I'll drive you to my house, and then you could Uber back to your car. 'Cause
I don't
then
know how to Uber.
Oh, I'll do it for you. I have it on my phone. I'll just send you away.
Well, thank you everyone so much who came out last week to see.
Let's do that because it's going to be a lot of cops out. So no drinking
Yeah.
and driving. No
I don't
one's
wanna
drinking
be
and
arrested.
driving. It's a big slumber party at my house for anyone who's concerned about this.
So we thank you all the
Hi,
people who
Bruno.
came out last week to watch that Darren Miles show. It was a lot of fun. I was doing one of the bits, which usually I do, is usually people laugh a lot. I was doing this part about women, once they get married, they don't shave their pussies anymore.
Okay.
And what happened was the room was kind of quiet. So I'm thinking in my head when this is happening, I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, we have a problem. I'm like, this is hitting too close.
Hairy, angry pussies.
I'm like, yes,
in this
there's a lot of
crowd.
hairy pussies out there. I was going to yell up on stage. I'm like, someone quick, get me a razor,
Oh my God! You had my husband laughing. I forget what lines, but you had a couple.
There was a couple next to me that thought you were hilarious,
Oh,
and
that's
then there was
great. I
another
love that.
couple that did not. So like
The problem
I
I-
took
Yeah.
the two extremes.
The angels and the
yeah,
devils.
yeah.
I think some
People
of the,
either get it and they think it's hilarious, or they think it's very offensive.
well, men
Yeah.
sometimes tell me after the shows. Two things happen after the shows. Women usually come up to me and say, "Because you're comedy, I now shave my pussy." And men usually come up to me and say,
You embarrassed me
Men would
this year.
usually come up and say, "I would have loved to have laughed, but my wife is sitting right next to me." So some of them tell me I can't laugh. 'cause,
Yeah. You know, there was one guy that was laughing at my jokes, and Glenn was like, he didn't want to laugh too loud, but he must have the same sense of humor as my dad, because I was telling jokes about my dad, and he said the guy was laughing. So, I actually added a part to my my bit. I say that my dad taught me to drive fast and take chances because he's literally like old people were walking out of the fucking restaurant one time, dude. Like they were like 80-year-old couple, and my dad's like, drive fast, take chances.
See, I think the problem is though when you add extra comics on at the night of the thing, everyone who prepared their set now has to edit their set up on stage, and you have to talk, and then you talk faster.
yeah.
And
What
as a
happened with
comedian,
me?
you never want to talk faster. You want to slow down.
Yeah.
You want to allow the crowd to laugh through the jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, you're almost training them to laugh shorter if you keep cutting off their laughs.
I know.
And
happened
I
with-
think that was a problem with that show, right?
Yeah.
What happened with me is a lot of times if I get nervous, I forget part of my set.
Yeah.
So I
me
was
too.
actually, he said make it shorter.
Yeah,
so,
me too.
So naturally it became shorter because I left out like 3 different jokes.
Yeah,
just
I did the
forgot
same
them.
thing. Honestly, every
Yeah.
time I get off stage, I'm like, fuck, I
Yeah,
forgot
that-
a joke. It's
exactly.
always a joke at least.
Yep.
But, yeah, because I was nervous about cutting stuff out, because I had like 12, 13 minutes planned. And then he gave me 10. So 3 minutes, you don't know which jokes you're going to take out. And a lot of these jokes, they're like my cue card. I start one, and that, if I leave a joke out, then there's 3 jokes behind it that aren't coming.
Right.
Because
And Bruno-
that's my mind.
So
Bruno is
he told me I had 10, and I good.
Bruno was saying that he laughed his ass off
Oh,
because we
oh my
got to
God.
meet Bruno.
Dude,
we were so
First
excited
of all,
to meet
let's
him.
talk about this.
Yeah.
Bruno came
grass.
360 miles to see Dan Romano, Michelle
He's awesome.
Michelle McDonald, Billy Geyer, myself, Mandy Jones, Bonnie Scalisi, and Jim Rhea. And he brought 2 friends from New York that
Yep.
came. They had a great time at the show. Teresa Farrell gave him a shout out. She's like, can we get a round of applause for this man?
He deserved it,
340 miles, dude. I think if
Absolutely.
you combine everyone else in that room, we probably didn't drive 340 miles.
No, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah, so awesome. We
And
love
Bruno
it.
went to his pizza place too. He went to
Oh
Dane's
my
Pizza
God! So
Place.
you got the whole
You got the whole
governor's
experience.
tour. You got the
Yes.
backstage pass tour, dude. Next time you're around, we'll get you in the seat. We'll get you on the show. But and the other person I wanna shout out is Taz, the residential artist.
yeah, I love
dude,
her.
you
Yes.
moved us. She drew. She did a caricature. She wrote Father Jim Rhea, and he's got the fucking tie. The what does he call it? The rabbi? No, it's not rabbi. The fucking
No, the priest, the collar.
yeah, the collar. That's the word I'm looking for. The priest collar, and it's Jim. It says Father John.
They do an amazing job drawing.
And me and Bonnie look so freaking cute. I love it. It's my profile picture. Go to Mandy
Yeah, I love
Jones, my profile.
I
and she's-
discovered her from Joe DeVito's page. She
Okay.
She was always doing Joe DeVito and all kinds of her
Oh,
cartoons.
cool. So, dude, that's like up there with them.
Kevin
That's
Downey
so
Jr.
cool.
And because they're part of this show called the I never can pronounce it. The Tom Shalil Show, which
Okay.
is a very well-known show on I think it's on Fox News Network.
Okay.
I think. But it's a very well-known show, and so that's where I discovered her, and I became Facebook friends with her, and now she actually is sharing our page.
Great.
And so
If anyone would like to call in, the
Hi,
number is
Gina.
516-465-3990. You can call in. We'll put you on the air. Also, one more announcement before we bring up our guest. I'm doing a show in the Little Room on August 30th. It's a comedy contest, but we're also paying all the comedians who are coming on. We had 2 people back out, so if any of the comedians who can bring 6 people or more would like to be on that show, we'll pay for being on that show. And it's a contest, so where the audience is going to vote. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, you can message me, Jim Raya, on Facebook, and we'll get you right on that show. All right, you guys want to bring up our
Yeah,
guest?
so we're going to bring on our first guest. I'm introducing. I say this right. Chaim.
Chaim.
I'm a Jew and I can't even say it.
Chaim
I'm
is coming on,
introducing
guys.
Chaim
Chaim.
Orzil, also known as the Certified Jew. He was on The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel,
Hold on,
The
whoever's calling us.
Deuce, and you can find him on Instagram at the
If
Certified
I-
Jew.
If I can say the
Welcome,
person's
Chaim.
name,
Come on
that's going to be
in.
on the
Come
phone. Will
on.
you guys kiss?
Come on.
Yeah, come on, come.
Who is it?
Murphy.
All right, let's see. That's a pretty easy guess.
Thank you very much, Bonnie.
Yes. Hold on one second. We have a caller. Put your headphones on.
All right, Govs Radio. Who's calling in?
Hello, guys. How you guys doing? Three companies do.
Who is
Hey.
this?
I love it. Dennis Murphy. Hi, guys.
Hey,
Hey.
did you come to the show, Dennis?
No, he didn't. I already asked him this morning.
Was I correct or was I correct?
Oh, you should have said hello to us. But listen, dude, we just got our first
Okay.
guest on, so we're going to have to talk to you later,
Dennis,
all
did
right?
you like
Thank
the
you
show?
so much for calling in.
Did you like the show, Dennis?
He didn't come.
Oh, you didn't come? All right.
Yeah, he didn't make it.
All right.
All right, Dennis.
We will catch up with you later.
We love you, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
Enjoy your 4th.
All right, cool. Thank you.
So
I-
getting
I
back to our
followed them.
first guest, I'm trying to figure out how we met each other. We met each other from Facebook.
Yes, through Facebook. Yes.
We were messengering each other, and I hope it's okay.
Nah, let's not go into real detail. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You gotta
so
keep
basically
some
they
suspense
got
over
really,
here.
they were sexting, basically.
No,
No, when it comes to messaging, any woman that I message, there's HIPAA laws involved. We don't want to get involved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
how do you pronounce your first name?
So
Is
first
it,
of all, the reason why I'm certified is because I could pronounce my name.
Oh, there you go. I thought I just got it, though.
it sounds like
Yeah,
anything that
but
a woman
I
loses.
told you how to pronounce it when I
I'm
first came in.
But I'm a heathen. Well, Bonnie was told
No,
how to
you're a Gentile. You're not a heathen. You're a Gentile.
I am a heathen.
Doesn't a girl like break her hymen or something when she loses her virginity or something?
I don't know.
All right, so tell us about
you do
yourself. Did you
circumcisions?
grow up in Long Island or New
No,
York? How
I-
did you get so big? Where did you get your? Tell us.
Well, how did I get so big? I ate a lot.
Yeah.
So,
I can tell the latkes have
I mean, I'm
been
sure you
good
can
to
see. You know, they almost had to like change the door to get me in. But
Roll you out of here.
but the truth of the matter is, how did I get so big? I honestly didn't even think. I knew I was always like, you know, the funny guy in the family. You know,
Okay.
When people say, you know, the black sheep, you know, I guess maybe I invented it. I don't know. But basically, yeah, I was the guy who didn't fit in my family. I come from an Orthodox Jewish family, so but I don't have the measles, so I guess I'm not that Orthodox.
You are vaccinated.
I'm vaccinated, right?
Oh, is that a Jewish
A
thing?
lot of
So
Orthodox.
anti-vax?
A lot of Orthodox Jews do not do.
But not,
vaccinations.
but not
it's
too
not-
much.
but-
There are-
but it's
I went to
not-
school.
He's
Everybody was
certified.
Orthodox.
I'll let him answer.
but
that.
it's
I'm
not-
certified vaccinated.
But it's not like the other people who are against vaccinations for believing that they
No,
do
it's for
damage.
religious reasons. Right?
I don't know the whole thing personally. I don't know
Okay.
the whole thing, you know. But what I can say is, last year, I after leaving J.P. Morgan, I used to work at J.P. Morgan.
How many times do I have to yell at you about the fucking volume? How many times do I have to fucking yell at you?
It is on silent.
See, I like this show. I don't have to
No,
yell. I have
no,
all the women do it for me.
Yeah, look at this. All right, Jim ruined the show again, but
Now you have to host me again.
Okay, go
Right,
ahead.
we'll have
did
to
I
have him
not
back.
grab everybody's
So-
phone
so
and
what
put
happened-
it on silent?
So I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
fucking
You know.
changed it.
So
Go ahead,
so
hon.
I
Sorry.
after I left J.P. Morgan, I there was a whole notice on Facebook about the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and I was like, I'll probably never get in, but I'll apply anyways. You know, I mean, I'm not like Mr. You know what I'm saying? So once I
It's a joke. This is a joke, right? I'm gonna kill you, dude.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I don't know how many people end up in prison after this freaking show, but
Yeah,
But,
I know. I've threatened like 3 lives already. But go ahead.
you know, soon we're gonna say comedy lives matter. Okay.
Right, that's a good one. We can make a shirt.
But after I applied and I got in, I was like, oh my god! And then I was sitting on the set, and Rachel Brosnan was doing her fake routine. I was like, you know, I want to do that. I like attention. I'm like a child, you know. So that's how I got into it.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
So
I
you got
called
the
up
idea
Broadway
from-
Comedy Club right after the show, and I was like, you know, how do I get on? So fine, no problem. Bring a couple of people, and then after I did my first show and I got a lot of laughs, the adrenaline that went through my body was like, I can't even explain it. And I was like, you know what? I want to continue to pursue this. And what I really think is the main part of me doing comedy, although of course I like to have fun and whatever, but I like to make other people happy. And when you make other people happy, that makes you happy.
Yep.
You know, so I think that's really what keeps on, keeps me going into doing it. I don't know how I get my material. You know, I don't import it. Okay.
What would you say your material is rated? PG, R, a little bit of
I would say
both?
PG-13.
Okay.
I like to keep it somewhat clean. I try my best to keep it clean because I feel like that's where the money is.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Okay.
You limit yourself once you
Jimmy,
get real
are you
raunchy. It's
listening?
true.
Okay.
It's true. But you
This
have
guy
to
over
be
here
true
is
to
the
yourself.
dirtiest
Like
comic.
I have a lot of jokes that you can tell your grandma, but then I have jokes that you just don't want to tell your grandma, and
Right,
it's because I find it funny and I can't hold back.
Yes.
Right.
You want to
know,
express
you know,
yourself.
I got
Right.
That's the whole reason I got into this. But I definitely think it's an art to have jokes that you could laugh with your grandma. Like Jim
Right.
Gaffigan, I think he's a fucking artist.
Like my friend of
I
mine,
love
I have a
him.
friend of mine, you know, he doesn't laugh at my jokes. He comes to my show to laugh at the people who laugh at my jokes.
Okay.
All right.
Can you
You
tell
know-
us a joke?
A joke. So, you know, when I first started, you know, saying jokes, first of all, I said, you know, let me start talking about sex, right? Because that's the easiest topic.
Oh yeah.
That's when I realized I grew up Orthodox. I don't know anything about it, so I had to try to figure something else to talk about, right? So, but then after figuring out stuff, what I'm gonna say, I noticed that coming from the background that I come with, from being Orthodox and everything, I went to separate schools, boys and girls schools.
Okay.
I didn't know a lot about women, until I got older. I don't know.
Certifiably-
I don't know how I got.
Certifiably Jewish.
I was the
guys.
certified virgin.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
I was the certified virgin.
So speaking,
You couldn't beat me.
so speaking of the comedy, getting it from your real life. What's your situation now? Do you have a girlfriend or?
Actually, I wasn't sure if that was. I knew that was gonna come up tonight.
You don't have to answer
I
it.
knew that was gonna come up tonight.
Question. You can pass on any question.
Yeah,
I
you
already
can. You
told
don't have to
that.
answer.
That's
any
like
question.
you know what this sounds like.
I'm a yenta.
This
You haven't
sounds.
figured it out. Is
Yeah,
that the
that's how
Jewish
Jewish
way?
you are. This is that's what it sounds like. It sounds like you have a journalist on a podcast from. Let me ask you one. Off the record. But we're
You know
freaking
you're yelling.
off the record. So let's have an off the record conversation on the record, okay?
Oh, speaking of yelling,
Wait, she's allowed to yell, and I'm not allowed to yell. Talking about the crazy feminist society. I'm not allowed to curse. I'm not allowed to yell. You believe this? I'm on this set on the Plot Against America, and there's a woman.
I think
There's,
that-
sorry,
Go ahead.
There's a woman who puts her hand on my leg. I'm like, do you understand what would happen to me if I would do such a thing?
I wouldn't do it.
I would be in like the oven. Like, forget it.
Uh-oh.
Bonnie's
you're
available now,
mentioning
so
the
if you need
oven.
Bonnie, you're available. You
Well,
got
yeah,
to
well,
know.
that we won't go
She
there.
said no. I asked her already.
He asked me. I told him
Yeah,
he's too
I told her
young.
she's beautiful. She's like, I'm sorry.
he is.
You know what I said to her?
I love him, but he's too young. How
She's
old are you?
the first woman who
30,
ever said she
30?
loves me.
You're 31?
Me, I'm 38.
38.
No, I'm lying to you. I'm much younger than that.
I knew that. That's why I keep calling him my young Jewish friend.
Yeah.
See, Bonnie's a catch because she'll be collecting Social Security soon.
I will be.
That's why I want to
trying
marry.
to explain
Let
that
me
to
tell you
her.
something, all right? That's why I want to marry a woman earlier, because the law is
Then you won't
is that
have
if
to
you
work
once you're
unless you want
married to a person, you only have to be married for somebody for 10 years, and you could collect 50% of the other person's Social Security. So you know what crazy this would be, right? If I was, let's say, married to Bonnie, right? I'll be able to collect half her Social Security, which is really being based off her husband's earnings. So we would
No,
be-
I'm the one who was the breadwinner. And
You were
made
the
most-
breadwinner?
Made most of the money.
That's
in my
how I know you're
household.
not so Jewish.
Yeah.
Because
That's funny, dude. That I never thought of it like that.
But it's like that's.
see, you had to mess up that joke.
He was setting it up nicely, and you just
I
screwed it.
know.
You
I
literally
messed it
messed
up.
up my
I'm
joke.
sorry.
If any of our
Soon I'm
listeners
gonna
would
be the
like to
joke.
date this gentleman on the show, please call in.
I just want to say hello to a couple of people that are watching with us. Gina Conjemi Coffin broke her car. It's a long story. Poor thing still doesn't
Crashed
have
her
a
car or broke it?
Is that
broke.
okay?
Jean Regan, she's one of my teacher friends. She's watching. I'm not sure who this is. Eli Chop. Does anybody? know?
Eli
Yeah, it's my friend. Yeah, one of my
yeah.
friends. Oh, you see, somebody cares about
There
me.
we go.
somebody's
Thank you,
watching
Chaim,
you.
for the
Somebody's
view.
watching, right?
Yes, but real quick,
Yes.
I do want to talk about Jim's hat real quick,
Oh, yeah,
guys.
that's a-
this
Sure.
is
It's an awesome
this is
hat.
amazing. Make comedy offensive again,
I feel like
guys.
I love it.
It's ridiculous
let's
nowadays.
Get real about this for 2
I think you should be able to
seconds.
say anything you
I'm
want on a
offensive
comedy
as
stage.
that. I'm pretty offensive. You understand? Like I had a woman. There was a girl I matched with on Hinge, right? And this was literally this past Saturday night, and she said to me, "What makes you think we would be such a good match?" I'm like, she says to me, "Don't you see that I'm a Democrat?" I'm like, first of all, you're such an idiot. Because if you go back 30 years, people would date each other with other political views. It became the latest stupidity in the world, right? And I said to her, you're only tolerant of your own type. That's what I said, But then
You're talking to a Trump supporter.
I voted for Trump. It's going to be absolutely
high five.
fantastic.
And Bonnie, can you stand up and
We had
show us
President
your
Trump on our
skirt
show,
real
so
quick?
we
This
understand.
is Bonnie's Trump
I
skirt.
can only wear this.
If we're
Ooh.
talking to Trump or if it's the 4th
That
of
is-
July. So, guys,
that
look
is
at
a
this
hot
little
skirt.
number.
Thank you.
When are you throwing?
Chaim.
When are you throwing me off the show? When are you throwing me off the show?
Yeah. No, but you guys, seriously, the jesters used to be the only people that could tell the king, like, that people were, like, invading and shit because it was the only person he wouldn't kill. He'd kill the messenger. But if it was brought in a jester joke
Wait,
form,
so tell
Listen,
me about this
he
girl. I don't
would
understand.
fucking not
Which
have a
no,
complete
it
meltdown.
was. I was coming off the movie set, and I see this girl literally dressed up in like a red sweater or a red sweatshirt and red, sweatpants. She literally looked like Clifford.
Oh, no.
Not calling her a
And
dog.
what
She's
were
not a
you-
dog. I'm not calling her a bitch. I know who you're going right now. Okay, but no, it wasn't like that. So anyway, I go at her and I say, "Oh, nice to meet you." Whatever.
You're a little Mary Elizabeth.
Mary Elizabeth.
Is that the little girl in Clifford? I think it is Mary Elizabeth.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
Oh,
I should
Emily
know that.
Elizabeth.
Emily Elizabeth.
You know what
There
this
we go.
is?
This is the
All
Three's
right,
Company
hold
radio
on.
show, and the
Andy-
voice
Andy
of
just
Clifford
helped
was
us
John
out.
Ritter, who was on Three's Company.
Yeah, and listen, this is the reason why I'm on the show, because it's story time.
I was just like the kindergarten teacher me. One at a time.
I know, no,
one
that
at
was
a time.
perfect. That's perfect though, because I get excited. No, thank you, Bonnie.
So, who did you like anyone in particular on the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel? Were any of the actors really cool people?
Yeah, I like Rachel Brosnahan.
Okay,
Yeah.
She's actually a really nice person. I was actually
she's amazing in that show.
Yeah, she
no,
is.
but she's not
I
just.
actually haven't seen
But
it.
she's
it's
she's a
great.
nice person. Like Michael Zegan is a great person. I had conversations with them, for
good.
15, 20 minutes. Like they actually, I don't want to say this over public, radio, whatever. I'll tell you after. But they're really, some of them are really nice people. And like you would think, oh, this is a famous actress, right? But she was so nice, and I got a picture with her. I have a picture with her.
Beautiful.
Oh man, if we had known in advance, we could have put it up on the screen. Because we had the technology to do that.
Yeah, you can ask
Well, if
them.
it's on his
Yeah.
phone, you plug
Yeah.
this thing in, you put it up, and it's up there.
The
in 2
last time we
seconds.
looked at something on the screen, it didn't
Yeah,
come out
give it a
very
go
good.
again.
Yeah,
Put
I
it on
mean-
the screen. It's in my favorites. Yeah, give me my phone.
Yeah, sure, why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, why not? It's a very well-known show, right? I mean, like everybody's.
It's
watching
funny
it.
because those episodes are like an hour, so it's almost like a little movie every time. And I kept not wanting to put it on without my husband, and he wouldn't watch it without me. So we literally have only watched 4 episodes because we have to both be together to get it
Oh,
on.
that's sweet.
Because some shows, he watched Game of Thrones, and it was just off to the races. Just watched every episode without me. I'm like, I don't care.
All right, we're going to put this up now.
All right, it's going up.
But it's funny, everyone knows what you're talking about. The first time you get, people haven't done comedy before, they don't say, it's like crack. Once you get up there and people start laughing, you're like, I have to do this again. I have to do this again.
It's really addictive.
It's
It's
very
really addictive. And people say, but you should know, this is like my drugs because I've never smoked a cigarette. I never did any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't do
Yeah.
cocaine.
Oh,
I
it's
just
a
like the
to-
smell of it.
I
It's
think
a
that's
total
a Jewish
adre-
thing.
it's a
We're
total
guilted.
adrenaline.
We're
Sorry.
guilted.
You know how many Jewish people smoke? You want to go to Williamsburg? You should see. The Hasidim.
Really?
They're like chimneys.
Oh man.
When they made the song Chim Chimney, right? That's who they were having in mind.
Ooh. Okay.
Bonnie, when he makes it big, you're going to be upset that you didn't. Also, pretty soon all the guys your age are going to need Viagra.
Well,
he
you
doesn't
didn't.
need
You
that
guys
at his
didn't.
age.
You guys didn't let me tell my dating story. I met somebody.
Oh, yeah. Let's
Oh,
hear
you
it.
met somebody.
did, I
By the
met
way, I am never dating you. You know why? Because you put all those freaking, screenshots on your Facebook. Literally, it's like any guy who dates you, you have him under hostage. Literally,
No, but I
you have like a hostile takeover.
etch out the phone number and I etch out the picture.
I have news for you. Everybody knows how I write.
No, I didn't put any of your stuff on.
Oh, I know that.
One of them you
How much money I have to bribe her to keep quiet?
I know.
It was,
I noticed
it
that.
was a dark gray. It wasn't
Yeah.
a black. But you can't tell. The screen's so tiny.
I know.
I was
know.
like,
I didn't,
oh, Bonnie, poor Bonnie. She didn't see that.
I didn't see that. But yeah.
So we're getting the picture on?
No, he's having trouble doing it. But
Oh, okay, sure.
all right. So he was on the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and he's going to show you himself with one of the famous actresses that was on the show.
It's a delay.
Now, yeah,
It's a
now
Are
delay.
there's
they even able to see it? I can't even
That's
see
the
what's going
high
on.
quality.
They used to have a 7-hour delay. I mean, a 7-second delay. Now it's up to like 5 minutes.
5
That was
minutes.
bad, guys.
Listen,
Sorry.
there was only in the beginning of my comedy career, there was only one mistake that I ever made, and the mistake was I made a Holocaust joke. So I mean, I am all for politically. I'm not for politically correct,
Right.
But when I don't make fun. Listen. I can't. Personally, I've went to comedy clubs and I've heard people make jokes about the Holocaust. I've heard Larry David make a joke about the Holocaust, and sometimes it's very funny. I guess
some
if
things
you're,
there are crossing the line.
but I feel like when it comes to the Holocaust, like that's something
serious.
which when a lot of people die like that, that's something which you want to like.
What
try to
number
stay
do we
away
press,
from.
Mike?
4?
Let's see who it is.
Somebody's calling in.
All right, press it.
What's up?
Hello, who's Three's Company Radio Show? Who's calling?
Yes, hello. This is Eric Shevlin, and I was calling to talk to Bonnie.
Eric?
Eric. Oh,
Yes,
yes,
Bonnie,
she's
you have so many
no,
boyfriends.
no, no,
It's
no.
so unfair.
This is the lady who's amazing at
so
drawing,
Bonnie,
correct?
you know
No.
I'm trying to imitate my brother Eric, but I had to call
it's
in. You told me to
Kenneth.
call in. I was listening in.
Oh, awesome.
Did you like that voice?
Yeah, you really had me fooled. I had no idea who you were.
What do you
This
mean
is
you
Eric's
I had you fooled?
brother.
I sounded
Eric
just like
Shevlin's
Eric.
brother.
What are you fucking talking about?
No, you don't. You don't.
Yes, Eric sounds more effeminate than that.
Oh my God. This
And
is
it
a
was
brother
very
of the
old. She
morning
had a very
host.
old.
So now
lady
it's make
sound
fun
on
of
the
Eric
morning
time?
host.
So all right, so I you told me to call in, so I just wanted to call and say
Now, is
hi.
this the
You guys
first
are doing
Three's
a
Company
great
Radio
show.
show you've watched?
No. I've watched other ones, but Bonnie was the guest this afternoon.
Yes.
So she told me to call in so I could bust chops, and then she could hang up on me after she yells at me.
We were Facebook friends, and he kept interloping on my Trump posts, and I warned him. I put him. I gave him a little warning, and I said, if you don't stop, I'm gonna unfriend you. And
I didn't interlope on your Trump post.
All right, you
I
can-
So,
just
Kenneth,
called
tell us the
out
funniest
ones
Eric
that
story you know.
I called out the ones that were fake. That was it, which is basically all of them.
your own brother was calling you a troll on my face. He goes, Bonnie, Kenneth is a troll on your Facebook page. Get rid of him.
But he doesn't know what troll means. That's because Eric's too busy eating to learn how to use
Oh.
a dictionary.
Is your brother Jewish?
No, they're
If
not
I- what?
Jewish.
'Cause he's
No, I don't go on your Facebook. When things come through my news feed and they're obviously horse shit, I just comment saying, hey, you posted horse shit.
Well, we had the agreement you wouldn't say anything, and you had the little emoji with the zipper over its mouth.
Ken,
which
I have a
I was
question.
okay with.
It seems like Bonnie's on every single governor's radio show now. What's going on with that?
I know.
No, I'm not.
You are, but it's good. But you know what? It's good. She's funny and she's a good guest. She has a great radio voice. So just
she's good looking. That's why she's on.
Well, our next,
Oh,
our
thank
next
you.
guest-
Hi, him.
Listen, right? Someone has to say it, right?
All right, Kenneth, thank you so much for calling in.
Look, hi,
Tell Eric, I
Oh,
hope Eric
yeah.
enjoys his
Thanks
vacation.
for
We'll talk to
calling,
you soon.
man. We'll talk to you
Kenneth,
later.
thank you for calling in, Kenneth.
Sorry, so where's the next place you're going to be playing now?
My next show is at Mohegan Sun.
Really?
Isn't
Yeah.
that cool?
Yeah, I'm doing
Very cool.
July 18th at Mohegan Sun.
Wow. If I
Yeah.
could travel, I'd go.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, when you start getting good in comedy, you want to get booked at casinos because people are partying every night and they want to hear a comedy show, get some food, and then gamble their life away.
Do you gamble? You could-
But
I've
you
never
go to a
gambled.
comedy show at a casino, it's a
it's fun.
guaranteed win. So
Oh,
a lot of
yeah,
people
that's-
do that.
that's
It's
the
a
thing to do.
guaranteed win.
That's
when
one
You
of
know,
the
there's a
comedy
reason
show.
why. There's a reason why they have comedians. At casinos.
Yep.
Because
Why is that?
everybody's always pressed from losing all their
Yeah,
money.
exactly.
You know?
Oh,
And that's
that's
what I said. It's
smart.
a guarantee. You go pay for that.
But let
and
me tell
know
you
you're gonna
something,
get
all right? I'm the casino's worst customer.
Why is
I
that?
come for my show and I leave.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
I don't even spend $2 to go put money in the soda machine because it always gets stuck.
He's a little bit-
So you know what I do? I stick to the ATM. That's the best slot machine.
Well,
Money
it's-
always comes out.
And as soon as you walk into a casino, they're like, oh, and you actually have points for breakfast in bed, and you know what I mean, and all these buffets and stuff. It's like a whole what?
And
I
didn't
just
you also
what?
work with Bob DeBono?
You just get
Yeah, I
played
know about the
$2
You know what's so
games,
funny?
no,
You know what's so
should
funny?
calm.
There's one thing that credit card points has never worked. You're not eligible for. You can't use points to pay for a girl.
No.
There you go.
Hey, isn't that against the Jewish law or something like that?
What do you mean? It's the oldest business. It's the oldest business that has the best track record.
It is kind of weird though that you can give sex away for free, and once you pay for it, it's illegal.
That's true. That's true. But how often did you work with Bob? Does he do Trump when you work with
Yeah,
him?
Bob is very, very good.
He-
And very,
he's
very
he's
good.
a Trump. Bob DeBono.
He's not a Trump supporter. I don't even know.
No,
Trump
no.
supporter, But he's a very
Trump
good
impersonator.
Yeah, he's a great impersonator.
impersonator.
You know, he's very good. He's very good. I'm also pretty good.
I
but
want
he's
to work
better.
with him.
All right, so let's hear a Donald Trump impersonation.
It's gonna be absolutely fantastic. It's gonna be huge.
That's pretty good. ahead.
I want to let you know that Melania, she's the most respected first lady, except by me. I kind of disqualified myself to being in the next Trump administration because I'm sure he's not going to be happy that I impersonated him.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Am I? How many minutes left? Am I on the show?
Yeah,
about-
we're
about
about to
plugs.
we're about to say
Give us your
goodbye.
plugs.
I knew. I'm gonna. They're not kicking me out.
No, not just yet. Not just yet. Yeah. So where can we find you? Where can these lovely people find you? What are you working on?
So I'm working on a lot of good stuff.
Okay.
A lot of good stuff.
And where can they find this stuff? It's gonna be like
It's
Amazon
gonna be
Prime.
No. It's gonna be. I'm strictly doing. I'm gonna be probably doing a lot of Dangerfield shows.
Okay, cool.
After my Mohegan Sun
That's
show.
New York City, guys. Dangerfield.
And what I'm probably gonna do is I'm starting to get bookings.
Okay.
So,
and where can these people find your tickets and get online?
So,
'Cause a lot of people don't get out, but they get online. So
Right.
where
So-
are those fans gonna go?
Yeah, so I usually post everything onto my Facebook page
And your
Okay.
Instagram.
and my Instagram.
And
I also
Twitter,
have,
are you the certified Jew?
I'm the certified Jew. All over.
Anywhere. Okay, any platform that is on your phone, you could put in the certified Jew, and you will
Yeah,
find this man, guys.
yes,
If you're an
but
Instagram person, you're a
YouTube
Facebook
also has a lot of
person.
stuff. YouTube
Oh,
has
he's
a lot
got a
of stuff.
YouTube channel. All right, cool.
And-
IDMB, which is
yeah,
I'm
IMDb,
sorry,
yeah.
Chaim. Let's spell your name for these people that
So
want to
it's,
find you, because I don't know if they know how to spell Chaim.
Sure. Yeah. What's it called? My parents wanted to make sure that I stayed Jewish.
Yeah,
They
there
said,
you go.
know,
That'll
There you
do
go.
it.
They give me no options. I'm like in Jewish jail.
Yeah, I know.
Right? You know.
It
so
could be Dave, Mom, or Lee.
no, they couldn't do it. No. You
All
know.
right, but-
So it's CHAIM.
Like Chaim, CHAIM.
Yeah.
CHAIM, AIM.
Yeah,
Okay,
CHAIM.
And what's
Last
your
name
name?
Orzel, Orzel.
Okay.
But if you Google,
Chaim Orzel.
yeah. But if you Google in any either Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, and you just type the word in "certified Jew," my profile will come up. So it's pretty easy. All you got to know is that I'm certified.
Well, he and Son's a lot of fun. They got
All right.
the
You know, there's a
Jordan
reason
Steakhouse.
why.
Get
You know,
down
there's
to
a my
West
show
Haven
is almost kosher. You know why? Unfortunately, I couldn't make it too kosher. I was too cheap to pay for certification.
All right. Well, thank you so
All
much,
right, well,
Beyonce.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you, buddy.
Don't
Thank
walk
you,
away.
Stick around
Don't
for
walk away with
photos.
my headphones
Sure,
on.
sure. Oh, you want my headphones? Alrighty.
Class, it's like getting out with the seatbelt on.
Thank you guys. Thank you
All right,
guys.
Thank you
Yep.
so much. We're going to do the sponsors real quick, and then we're going to introduce our next guest, which is Mr. Andy Plaginos. But real quick, I just wanted to go over that we have Coaster's Tavern. Oh, first, Jim, let's tell them that these
Obviously,
are...
our views are not the views of our sponsors, and please don't hold anything we say against them.
Yeah, whatever anti-Semitic stuff we just said, or
Some-
pro-Trump, it still has nothing to do with these places. All right, so we got Coaster's Tavern. That's at 487 Newbridge Road, East Meadow. CoastersTavern.com. They mentioned this earlier. These guys, Bonnie, Jim, and a guy, John Olivero, do an open mic for comics. That's 7:30 sign up, 8 o'clock start every Tuesday. And down there, guys, you have no idea. They have free tacos for the comics, free shots for the comics. It's a free comedy show if you're either want to perform or catch some comedy. They got a pool table on other nights of the week. They always have live music down there. I know Teresa Farrell from Tea Time with Teresa, her husband was down there, last weekend?
Yes.
Everybody posted and was talking about how amazing that was. And then we also have JustSmash.com. Just Smash is actually a ping pong hall right here in Gov's parking lot. We're at 90 Division Avenue in Levittown. For Governors, and this is at the same parking lot. They're at 2953 Hempstead Turnpike, Levittown. Olympic-size tables, balls, and paddles, guys. It's really awesome, honestly. They have it like all glow light. It's great place for a date. You can get, it's fucking a bar too. You can get adult beverages, you can get food. And like I said, Olympic ping pong tables, paddles, balls, and they also do league play. If you go to justsmash.com, you can join a league, or you guys can settle a bet, get a table and some teams together. Maybe the loser can pay for the drinks. But yeah, that's coasterstavern.com and justsmash.com. And now Bonnie's going to introduce our next guest,
And,
who's looking really
Before
funky,
before I
guys.
introduce him, I just want to say Peter Ferrandino is watching. Jacob Baranowski is watching. He has a lot of questions about the show, which I can't answer all of these questions, but Jacob, we'll try to
right.
we'll try to
Sidebar
figure out
us later.
Yeah, we'll review what you're going to say and talk about it in our next show. So our next guest coming up is Andy Plajanos.
Yeah,
I
Andy
said it right.
Plajanos. It's a hard one.
Okay, so he recently won Aragona's funniest comedian in Suffolk County, which
Hell
is quite a
yeah,
feat.
that's awesome, guys.
And he's a member of Veterans Comedy Assault.
Mister.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
The wonderful Andy Plajanos. Look, he's all
Andy,
all
thanks for
dressed
joining
up
us.
for the 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July, you
Yeah,
guys.
Seriously.
Come on.
If you take those
man.
headphones off, then
Take
it
'em
won't.
off.
Then it won't fall down.
Yeah.
And also, the last time I
Gravity.
saw you, you were dressed as Dracula.
I was.
You were hilarious.
Oh, that was funny. I did
That
see
was
that. I
so
didn't
funny.
see it at Aragona's. Is it? Did you do it at Aragona's?
I did it, and it's changed and it's whatnot. But before we really get started, I'd like to
Aw,
get you guys
thank
laid
you.
Oh,
Put
real
it
quick.
in the
Right.
4th of July
And-
Thank
spirit.
you.
He's figured a way
Jim-
to get you guys
Eric-
ready.
No offense,
Hi.
I didn't want to
Oh,
lay
there
you.
we go. Let's put that on top of Jim's fucking hat
Alright,
right
am I
now.
And if we
putting
could,
this over my cock?
Oh my god.
and if we could be the
Fits
first,
nicely.
could we be the first ones to sing "Happy Birthday to America"?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Let's
let's
hear
do
it.
it. Ready?
Let's hear it. Lead us.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear America.
You little son of a bitch.
Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
Are you one? Are you two? No, we're not going to do that.
That's
No, no, no,
right.
we'd be-
No,
we'd be
thank
here
you
for a
for
while.
leading us
And that's
off
my
with that.
time.
That's- Well, Andy, so tell us about the what is this called? The Veterans
Comedy
Assault.
Yeah,
Yes.
what is that?
Tell
It's a
us.
group that I was introduced to by Tugboat Manny.
Okay.
Ooh.
Great comedian, guys. He's
Great
fucking
com-
awesome.
And a really sweetheart.
oh my
of a-
god,
of a
yeah,
man.
angel. Comedy angel is what I call those people.
And it's basically it's through an organization called Project Nine Line.
Okay.
There are a lot of organizations like this, and what they do is they put vets who are struggling to assimilate back into
Yeah,
civilian
yeah,
life, and helps them do it through the arts. So they have like guitar lessons.
God, that's
so
so awesome.
I should say I'm just gonna a little quick plug is
Yeah.
that if you're a vet and
You need
you're having some
something,
trouble or
yeah.
whatnot, they get guitar lessons. Just go to Project Nine Line, Google them. Great organization.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I do want to say about you guys' sponsors, Coasters. That mic is the nicest mic.
Oh my
thank
god.
you.
Yes,
It really, really
right?
is.
Yeah.
It's the clubhouse.
Meanwhile,
it really is a clubhouse.
I've
That's what
been
I'm
running
calling
it solo for a while. My two besties, John and Jim, have been a no-show the last bunch of
I
times.
have good news for Bonnie and for everyone. Not for me, I was devastated, but my son's baseball team got knocked out of the tournament the other night. So
Oh.
now I will be
Womp.
coming.
It was a
Yeah,
fix.
you know.
It was a
and,
fix.
yeah.
He
That was
made
a
the final
fix.
out too, which I wasn't. Which really coming, but he had a long fly ball to center field, but
Yeah.
it just didn't go far enough.
Well,
Anyway,
Jim's
long
a
and short of
super
it is, I will
dad,
be
though.
back now at Coasters on Tuesday.
And
night.
that and John
Cool,
said he's
cool.
coming back too.
Good, good.
You know what I always tell people is like civilians, non-comedians. I tell them if you want to go and see like all the mid-card to local headliners,
Yep.
this like and you get a show
Yeah,
like
no,
because there's going to be
absolutely.
like the times I was there were like 30 comics.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like but I mean if you want to go and you want to see all the people who are filling out most of the
If you're in New
shows
Jersey,
on Long
that
Island.
is a must
absolutely.
place to go.
Exactly.
Free
No, it really
tacos,
is.
free shots, old time bartender who buys you back drinks, friendly environment.
I've heard you say that before. Do you know that's the bar owners imperative? Bartenders, because I bartended for many, many years, and
Okay.
I worked for some bar owners who would tell me not to buy people back, and I couldn't buy them back. So it's if you're going to a bar and the bartender's not buying you back,
Don't blame them.
it's not. It's usually 99.9%.
But Coasters
the
does
man,
buy you back,
it's
so
the
if you're a
man.
patron,
they-
it's even better.
which means they have an awesome owner.
Yeah, there
you
you
go.
go.
The owner is a
There
cool
you
guy.
go.
He's a very
Yeah.
good guy.
There you go.
I was
mean-
talking to him Tuesday night. That was it last night.
Yep.
I was talking to the owner. He's really cool.
He's a good
Yeah,
guy.
awesome.
And,
So-
and about Smash, just I also have Olympic-sized balls.
Oh yeah,
Just
I
wanted
bet
to-
you do.
but that's it.
Do you have you ever been in there?
No, but I am an avid ping pong enthusiast.
Oh my God, bring
You
your
are.
wife.
Are you
Honestly,
good?
it's a fun night. Get a sitter and bring your wife down there. It's a cool place. It really is.
I
We
haven't
went.
played
I
in
loved
years,
it.
but when I was in the Air Force, everywhere you go,
There's ping pong.
there's nothing to do but play spades and ping pong.
That's so funny.
And when I was a camper and a camp counselor, so I've played thousands of hours of ping pong in my life. I love.
We should play after
ping
the
pong.
show.
You know, I never made that connection. My grandpa was a big poker player, and he was in the army.
Well,
That's why.
Spades. It's funny because I came back from the Air Force and people be like, "Oh, I play spades," like civilians.
Yeah, like, no, you don't.
I don't think you understand like how important it is in the military, and your spades buddy is like your best friend.
Oh, it's like
'Cause you're reading each other's minds.
What is the game where you what is it, bridge that ladies play for people? So that's for
I don't know,
people
I'm not a
also.
lady.
Isn't it bridge that you have people over for? But that's for people too. So
Yes.
I didn't know that.
That was
Okay,
back
I've
in the
never
50s and
played
60s.
Yeah, it's a bookmaking game. Like you have to bid on books, and it's
Okay.
the spades are the trump suit. Name spades.
All right, so let's get down to the nitty gritty here.
Bring
So,
it.
Now, who do you think's funnier, you or Claudia? Now, Claudia, for those who
Oh.
don't know her,
Yeah,
she
she's a friend
is
of
very
mine. She's a
funny.
friend of
Okay,
mine.
yeah, guys. So what we're talking about real quick is there was 2 winners.
Correct.
They would, which I think is bullshit. You should have went into sudden death. I don't think there should
They should
ever
have an
be.
insult
Like a
contest.
There's
joke-
no
a
time.
joke off?
No
we
judge,
yeah,
insults, that's
seriously,
it.
Yeah. So
if it was
we're-
a jerk off, maybe I'd be able to do it. Joke
All right.
off, I don't know.
So
But you
I
had to be
don't
very
know.
funny to tie with her because she's very funny, right?
She's extremely funny. I love Claudia.
I love her song at the end. It's funny.
That's and I would even say the third place. I would have voted for actually Megan Ruth Friend. She actually, if I was judging,
Right.
that's who I would have.
Comedy's very
voted for.
subjective. Very subjective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very subjective.
It is, and it's very nice to be recognized. But I certainly witnessed by the fact that I showed up dressed as Dracula.
Yeah.
And told shitty vampire jokes.
You had me laughing so hard.
Well-
I was in the audience. I saw him actually win that title. So
I-
it was really funny.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And now I saw you on Halloween. Was that the first time you tried that bit?
That was the time you saw me was the second time and
Okay.
Bonnie, the time you saw me was the 4th time I've done that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So it's
which is
getting
nerve wracking
better,
because
yeah.
you guys know, like, you're practicing the same
Yeah,
routine.
but I had never seen it. It was
Right.
new to me.
And this was only the 4th time, and the first 2 times were for 2 Halloween shows. Then I did it for the 420 show, which was great for the stoners. They loved
Vlad,
it. They
right?
loved it. Yeah. Well, that's what's hilarious is
When you're a comedian, the timing, not only the way you deliver the jokes, but the amount of time you have on stage is very important.
exactly.
So that's what I think non-comedy people who throw these shows don't understand. They're like, oh, we threw 10 extra comics in, no big
Yeah,
deal.
and
Just
10
take 3 minutes off your set.
10 minutes each.
Speed it up. You're like, no, it doesn't work like that.
Well,
Yeah.
I was a total dick Monday night. Evan's mic was canceled, so I went to Steve Rocco Perilla's mic.
Oh, I love
Okay,
his
okay.
mics.
And it
Which
was
one? Which
fantastic.
one?
The Ziggy's
I've
Corner
never
Pub.
been there.
Oh, I
It's
love
actually
it.
that's a beautiful bar.
It's
I'm
a-
like for where it is, kind of
Okay.
you wouldn't expect it, but it's a very clean, very nice
Oh wait,
bar.
maybe I did go there once. Is it like you walk through 2
there's like a
little
s-
wall, like a little half wall when you walk on
Yes,
the stage?
yes,
Okay,
yes,
I
yes.
did go there once. It is a nice bar.
But I showed up at like 9 or something,
Okay.
and so he ended up like trying to like taking a minute from everybody. And
Yeah.
I felt terrible. I'm like, just give me 2 minutes then.
Yeah.
Let everybody have their full time.
I just-
I'm the one who showed up
I
late.
don't want to interrupt.
No,
but
no, go on.
This guy Jacob is really, he's really giving me a rough time here. Jacob, these are not homeless people we're taking off the street to be guests. These are well-known comedians. If you were listening at the beginning, he just won a comedy contest. Over 100 people were in that contest, maybe more.
No, I'm not sure. I think actually.
Jacob, if you'd
more
like to
along the
call
lines-
in, be more than happy to
20
call
or
in, Jacob.
25.
Let's hear it, you know?
What's mahjong? What is that?
Mahjong is a Jewish game.
Mahjong.
Well,
Not
it's a
my
Chinese.
religion.
It's
A
Chinese
Chinese
that
game.
Jews play.
That Jews play?
Yes, it's sort of
I
like
have to ask the certified Jew.
Bonnie. It's sort of like guilt.
Did he-
Jews invented it. Catholics perfected
Oh
it.
my God!
okay,
Yeah,
so-
you don't know nothing
But-
until you
but-
know
but
Catholic
I
guilt.
don't-
So I think she's just saying hello, maybe in another language. Hi, Michelle.
Yeah, but no, Michelle only said hi to
Bonjour.
Bonnie, man. She didn't say
No, it
Annyeonghaseyo.
just said mahjong, Mandy.
Annyeonghaseyo.
Yeah,
Michelle's coming to my house for a barbecue after
Mahjong Mandy Jones.
Well, I'm gonna see.
Don't
I'm
worry,
going
Michelle,
over
we'll
Yeah,
do
you
and
guys are going to be the late shift because we're going to watch the Dan Romano show at my barbecue, and they're at the barbecue now watching it. So I love you, baby.
All right.
Is Michelle at the barbecue now?
No.
No. She's on her way. I'm sure.
She's
Oh my
going
God,
to the
she better
barbecue.
not be.
Going
My
to the
husband. No, I'm just
Man, he's like, you better not be sleeping with my
You
husband
better not
during
be.
the
Yeah, you
show.
better not be on my husband right now.
That bitch better be here.
No,
Gee,
I love you,
call
Michelle.
me.
No, she's really cool. She's really cool.
Yes.
She
yes.
says
I
the thing
love
that turns
Michelle.
her on is masturbating to herself, looking in the mirror.
That's part
what
of
she
her
You
says.
know, I
Yes.
heard one other guy say that one time, not on stage. He just honestly told us that, and we're like, okay, Dostoevsky. No, what is it? Dos Equis? Like Dostoevsky is fucking
The most interesting man in the world. Let's make it
I don't
easy.
always jerk off, but when I do, it's to myself.
Stay thirsty.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
where's the next place you're performing?
Well, I got a bunch of dates coming up because with the Veterans Comedy Assault, we do a lot of shows.
So who? And I'm sorry, Tugboat runs it.
He's sort of It's not necessarily run just by one person.
Okay.
But Tugboat definitely is out there in front. There's a fellow named John Rago
Okay.
who does a lot of the administrative and booking and whatnot, and all of them do some kind of booking.
Okay.
Graz is watching. I think you took the summer off so you wouldn't have to play me in ping pong.
I know. What's that bullshit,
Come on,
Graz?
Graz.
Just play. And honestly, we're pretty convinced that Jim had like a bigger paddle or something because he was whooping our asses. We're like, he brought that paddle from home. Is bullshit. It's not regulation size.
Well, we'll have to work out if I play which hand, how we hold the paddle first, because I can play 3 different ways.
Really?
Oh,
Okay.
I've never seen
might
that
actually-
house
you might have
rules.
some
Yeah,
No,
you,
no,
well,
no.
you know it's $100 to anyone who could beat him.
No,
you
I don't. I'm not doing that. I don't
Bring
do
your
things.
wife. Honestly, beat him for $100 and then he'll pay for your bill.
I'm like a Ronin samurai. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for the Bushido.
Well, Jim
All
has
right.
to give you $100, so I would do it for the money. But
No, I
you
was
should beat
tortured
him
as a
either way,
child
'cause
with
we
ping
need
pong, so I'm not
bragging
going to
rights.
lose.
Who? Like your dad just fucking.
Yeah, I
beat
think
the
I
shit
told the
out of you?
story. My father did not, and my older brother, they did not believe in letting a child ever, like if you played Monopoly, they
Right.
wouldn't let you win. If you played, they said, we'll volley with you before the game. Once the game starts,
Right.
no free points. So they would smash up my face for like years. It just hit me in the eye. I'd fall on the ground. They like just smash at me every time.
Right, well,
so
when
I was 21-0 forever. Right.
When I was a camper, that's what the counselors would do to us. But then the student became the master, and I would do that too. But then we would have the counselors would all play each other. We'd have these huge tournaments, and then in the Air Force we would have these huge tournaments.
Kind of like Forrest Gump. He was really good in ping pong.
And,
right?
and that's why that's a very realistic
Yep.
and spot on part of that movie is because yeah, motherfuckers play ping pong.
Wow.
That's what I said.
One of the fun camp activities.
It was. But some places that I'll be in the relative near future. July 15th, we've got an Islip Library show. So there are some clean, you guys were talking about clean and dirty earlier.
Yeah.
That was what I took Project Nine Line's class to hook up with the Veterans Comedy Assault.
Okay.
And it was developing 5 minutes of clean material.
Oh.
So it's a nice little.
You know, a lot
weapon
of
to have
up-and-coming
Yeah.
comics, because
in
that's
your
who like
quiver.
listens to our show and stuff. What they don't realize is, and I learned this when I took a class too, is sure you can go up there like I do, and you can be funny by doing absolutely filthy stuff. But the problem is now if you want to get hired by a college or something else, no one's going to hire you doing
Right.
that material.
Exactly.
So basically, you can't earn a living doing it that way.
Right.
Right.
Then July 20th, I'm actually at Barton's Place in Mount Sinai, scene of the crime for the competition.
Cool.
That's at 8 p.m. for an Aragona's show. July 27th, we're at the Stony Brook State Vets Home. I'm doing a gay bar August 21st in Washington, D.C.
Nice.
One of my
Really?
best friends from
Yeah.
growing up
Oh, dude.
invited me to come down, and I'm
Cool.
really looking forward to that.
Cool.
August 24th, I'm at an Evan Weiss show
Nice. Where's that?
at Broadway.
Oh, okay.
He's going to be
Room
at
or
your
big room?
barbecue.
I think it's the big room because
Alright.
it's for the owners.
Cool. The big room is a lot better and I'm not just saying it because it's a bigger room. The room upstairs, you're on stage and then it's just lights in your face and it's actually like not stadium, but like theater
Yes.
style. And then when you're downstairs, there's like long tables, so people are a little cozier. And I feel like I did better in that room.
Well,
than I've
Mandy,
done
you
it.
and G were my number 5 and number 6.
Oh my God!
For the
yeah,
hard
I
bringer.
forgot.
For the first time
Yeah, we came down.
I did. I was in.
Evan would have let you go up without us there, but
Yeah, but you know what? I appreciated the.
Well, and Glenn was the one that was like, well, it's Andy's show because he was at Shakers when you told us when it was, so he like
Right.
put it in his phone, so he was like ready to go. He's great.
That's
honestly.
fellow
My
Stony Brook.
husband-
It's the Stony Brook
Oh,
connection.
of course. Like my husband.
USB Steve Wolves.
Yeah, he's really like finding his place in my comedy, like saying like, oh, I want to have a barbecue and do the watch party because it's like it's really
great
sweet.
idea.
It's
Right.
super like supportive.
Bonnie, you're right.
and
Jacob
it's
is going
awesome,
off
like,
with the
including
questions.
him
Yeah.
and
So
I love
Jacob,
you,
who do you
baby.
think's hotter, Mandy or Bonnie?
Jacob, why don't you call in and
Call
then we
in.
can answer your questions?
Jacob, call in 516-465-3990.
I'm hoping. I'm not seeing the
Honestly,
comments.
it's-
I'm wondering if he's talking about my mustache because I just found out it's
I'm
fantastic.
sure it's fine. Some people
Do you know how I found out?
How?
I was
I'm
at
sure it's
Hot
fine.
Topics, and the guy behind the counter told me I had a fantastic mustache,
Really?
and he was dressed as a pirate.
Oh, well, you
So
go
you
to
know that shit's for real.
well when you go to the gay bar with that mustache.
That's-
there you go. That's your.
I'm
flag.
rocking my Freddie Mercury.
There
I
you
just
go.
got to get my gap
There you
widened.
go.
So I see a lot
My
of pictures
calf.
of you with your children on Facebook.
Yes, yes.
That's so
How old are your kids?
7 and 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you got the best years ahead. Oh, you're great.
Yeah, you know, well, part of my routine is that I talk about that I'm really lazy and I don't want to clean guns in front of strangers. So I'm found the lazy man's way of raising daughters, which is to raise them weird.
In what way?
So
I'm afraid to ask.
No one
Okay.
ever wants
I don't want you to.
have
Well,
I don't want
sex.
your children being taken away.
well,
but
no,
go ahead.
no. Like the when she was 4, the 5-year-old when she was 4, we went to Stop and Shop, and she sounds like Vinnie Barbarino. So every time we go to Stop and Shop, she always turns and looks at me and goes, "Hey, Dad, let's go look at the lobsters."
That's total Long Island kid.
Oh
though.
no, absolutely. We don't know where it came from either. It's
She
terrible.
goes to school. That's where it came from.
But we go in the back, and usually it's really sad because it's like 6 lobsters, and they all look sick and whatnot.
Aw.
Well, Stop and Shop had just gotten a delivery, and one of them's like walking across, and he starts walking towards us. The older one turns to me and goes, "Hey, Dad, look, it's coming straight at us." So I grab my 4-year-old by the shoulders in front of me, and I go, "Take her! Take her!" And she freaked the fuck out. Just ape shit, just crying, and I had to pick her up.
Worst
And-
dad
and then-
ever. Just beat her.
Well, and it was in East Setauket, so it's like all these rich old people giving me dirty looks for ruining their fucking shopping.
Yeah, because I had to hear a kid crying.
Exactly. But what I end up using as the punchline is like I pick her up and I'm like, "What's it gonna take? What's it gonna take?" And so in the end, it took a pound of M&Ms, a package of Sour Patch Kids, and we only had to watch Moana 8 fucking times that day.
My my brother,
She won
who's
that day in the
actually,
end.
yeah, I don't know if you guys ever met Paul, but he's actually much crazier than me. But Paul, what he used to do when he was little was if we were at any store and he wanted something, he would throw himself on the ground and say, "Mom, stop kicking me!" And he would like create a whole scene in the store.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, he was a character.
How stupid I was.
He was at college 6 days before he got kicked off campus. And my mom was like, "You couldn't make it a week." But, he was fine.
The best is when what's his face, Cat Williams. He talks about like you see somebody like beating their kid in the. He's like, white women are crazy. They'll like be beating. He like gets on the fucking stool and is like beating it. And he's like somebody like you're gonna like says something about like your kid. He's like, "You're next, bitch." Like as they're like punching the kid. It's so funny.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the joke. I probably haven't told it in 30 years, but what the hell? That's why I haven't told it. But so the old joke, what are like 40 married women all have in common? They don't fucking listen.
Yeah. What do you tell a woman with a 2 black eyes? Nothing she hasn't been told twice before.
These are definitely
I know,
35
this
years
is
old jokes.
terrible,
These
yeah.
are old jokes.
Well, yeah, no, we were going through my grandfather's when he passed away. After he died, a while after, we're going through his drawers, and he had an ad. It said ad for selling Encyclopedia Britannica. No longer needed. Fucking wife knows everything.
Yeah, no, there were a lot of really terrible ones from back in the day. Street jokes. I've actually let them all like seep out of my mind.
I know.
It's so difficult though. Now I'm sitting here and I'm thinking of some of the worst jokes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Though, again, everybody was fantastic at the Dan Romano live show.
Thank you. Yeah, Andy was in the crowd, guys.
I was, and it was a long show. It was a bit of a marathon,
That's why I was happy I went early.
and you got to stand up.
You could tell us what you told me.
So as soon as I walked outside, I find Mandy and G, and I said, "Okay." So I don't want to disparage rape or people who have been raped. So what I will say is what that chair did to my ass was rape-like.
It's not consensual.
No, it was not consensual at all. That
Shows
hurt.
in the little room should be an hour and a half maximum.
Or double the cushions.
And
I mean,
honestly-
one or the other.
And we don't have, with that many comics, guys, let's start having a little intermission, I think, maybe. Because even like a professional show, and you're going to all leave.
I don't think they
Yeah.
should be. I don't think
But
they
like
should
a
be
three-
long enough that you need one.
Even,
Yeah,
even
it's
when
true.
we have an
It's
open
true.
mic and we have an intermission with the shots, a lot of people leave after
Yeah,
that.
that's true. That's true.
Right. You don't want to stop.
It's
Right.
You're right. You're right. But I just don't. It's so hard, honestly.
But Bonnie, they don't really leave. They're just outside smoking pot.
That's true. But they don't come back inside.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's
They
true.
leave.
Once you get up, you're done.
They
no, you're
think
right.
they're there.
Speaking
They
of the open
think
mic
they're
last night, I watched Kristen Tinsley.
Oh my God!
she
yes.
was
I only got to see what that was. That was
funny.
great.
She's
I
doing my
did
routine, you know.
Yeah.
That was my
That was very
routine.
good,
So
Kristen.
funny.
I liked the
Kristen
way she
did a
did it.
whole set as Bonnie.
It was
at
so
Coasters.
hilarious.
So go to
And
Coasters,
my
you
laugh,
can see
I
that.
was like, holy crap, how drunk am I that my laugh is, my laugh was like, ah!
Yeah, well, it's because
You're having a good time.
Yeah, and she
She
knows
made
you
me-
well. Yeah,
I
she's
was
funny.
She was hysterical.
So, what's your favorite place to perform,
My favorite place to perform. You know what? Actually,
other
I
than the bedroom?
I did get to. No, I'm no good there. The best place that I've gotten to perform was in Key West. I actually did perform down in Key West. I cold emailed them, said, "Hey, I was going to be in town. My father-in-law has a house down there. We were going to visit." and it was fantastic. Met some really great guys. They're really cool. And if you're ever down in Key West, go to Bottle Caps. It's awesome, and they're very open and receptive to, like, if you're going to be in the area, just email and be like, hey, this is when I'm going to be there. And if they can put you on, they can put you on.
Yeah,
So.
I know, guys. That's a really good idea. As comics, you're going on a trip with your family or you're going somewhere. Just hit up local people. They want comics, and these people that have comedy clubs, they're used to the same crowd, like how we're used to the Long Island crowd. Sometimes I don't get laughs at mics and stuff, and I'm like, it's because these guys know my stuff. Like.
Right.
They're not going to still laugh anymore. Like, there are jokes that every time I hear them, I laugh.
We
but
can
are
say
jokes
each other's routines.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
Kristen
exactly.
did.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, my routine.
Exactly.
The fact that there is a Terry McNeely drinking game, which I got fucked up on 420. I actually closed my tab, and I had to keep on going back and getting more drinks because he just kept going. He did like 40 minutes. I was hammered by the end of that.
Well, it was funny because somebody said, oh, we're going to play the Terry McNeely drinking game. I was like, what do you drink every time he says a town in Long Island? They were like, yes. I was like, oh, I totally
Town,
just fucking
place,
guessed that.
or a proper name.
Oh, proper name.
Proper name is the one that fucks you up because he'll be like, all right, listen, Todd, stop blowing Colts behind the shed. And you're like, God, there it is again.
What is it? Landon something Rabinowitz when he says those are all last names. Like.
Yeah, he always says those names, like certain names.
Brock.
Like you want if you're going to name your kid that, you're basically saying he's going to rape girls on college campuses.
You may as well put the dick in his mouth.
Exactly.
Was another one that he says. Yeah.
He's unbelievable.
Well, no, and I love
him.
Well, I've known Terry longer than before he even started doing comedy.
Right.
I've actually been friends with Terry for years. I used to be his
show.
bartender. I worked up in Smithtown. He used to come around. Then when I left Smithtown and I went down to Oakdale, he came with me.
Yeah.
Mainly because he needed someplace to deal more drugs. But it was nice to see him. They left me good tips.
Yeah.
So, that's cool.
Yeah, no, he's great. One of my favorite lines that Terry does is he's like, I live in a basement in West Sayville.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm invincible. There's nothing you could do to me.
Yeah. I love his stuff on Instagram and Facebook, his Trump posts. They are hilarious.
Yes.
I like every one. He's like, he probably looks in like Bonnie Scalise. She likes out of 50 posts, she likes like 47 of them.
So you're like the Jeff Bosey.
I love Jeff.
No, Jeff
Why?
is
What
the
does
best.
Jeff do?
Because Jeff, they were joking on Graz's show actually about how whenever Rich Walker is around, Jeff is there. Love you, Jeff.
Sidekick, Batman and Robin there.
And I mean, his commitment is phenomenal. Like he goes to a lot of shows. I always see when he posts like the shows that he's at or somebody.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I was on the morning show this morning, and Rich Walker was doing a show, and he sat down, and then all of a sudden Jeff did call. Jeff called in.
Well,
so maybe there is some truth to that.
And Dan always says, he said it at both shows, the show that we did on Thursday and on the first live show he did, he said Jeff Bossy bought the first tickets from Dan for the first show, and he's like, you have no idea what that means to me, because when he said he's going to throw a comedy show because he's around comedians and stuff, he had no idea how well it was going to go. And honestly, he packed that room out. And then the other night, Thursday night, we had a great time as well. I mean, Andy was in the crowd getting raped by a chair, but we did have a really good time.
Rape-like.
Honestly, my husband said the last person was Teddy Smith, and he was going, and he was laughing. Glenn was like, I had to get out of there. He didn't get out of there. Usually he would smoke a cigarette if he was done, but he was laughing, but he was done, but he was also getting raped by a chair. So
I went into the audience to watch Teddy Smith because I had never seen him before.
I'd never seen him
and I thought he was hilarious.
Well, that's the thing. I ate dinner with my husband and my little brother-in-law, so I ended up just sitting there the whole time. I just kind of asked Dan where I was going to be in the
I was
line.
like, you were hardly in the back.
And it's fine because there's so many of us in the green room. You end up just in the hallway, and I could hear them. With a couple of comics, I could hear you guys in the back. I was like, oh, they're having a lot of fun back there.
Yeah.
You know what? I always find that a comedian that I like, that I love, that I'm surprised by, is when they tell a joke and I'm kicking myself because I'm like, I could have fucking thought of that.
Yeah.
Damn it. Like, that is so, like, clever, and I wish I had done that. But
that's smart or not. I could have done that. Yeah, but you didn't.
Right. No, and that's just it. It's like,
Yeah, I know, because Kathy Arnold.
We only have 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. So let's wrap this up. Should we do coasters one more time?
Yeah, quickly. You guys know our two. Do you want me to do it quickly? You want to?
Yeah, just real quick. We got Coasters Tavern, coasterstavern.com. That's 47 Newbridge Road, East Meadow. That was the one we were talking about Tuesday. Open mic, 7:30 sign up, 8 o'clock start, pool tables, all that good stuff. And justsmash.com. That's
2953 Hempstead Turnpike, Levittown. Smash. It's a ping pong hall right here by Gov's. And you could do league play. You could settle a bet. That's justsmash.com and coasterstavern.com.
Absolutely. All right, so your next place. What's the place you want to plug? You were saying something before?
The next one is July 20th at Barton's Place.
Okay,
All right,
cool.
awesome.
I
And
think
also,
everybody can-
where can we find the Veterans Comedy Assault? How do we get to those guys and find
So
out
you
where
can-
they're going to be?
You can actually just Google Veterans Comedy Assault.
Okay,
There
okay.
is a Veterans Comedy Assault Facebook page.
Okay, guys, so
all
like
things
and
that are
follow,
searchable.
share that. All right, I'm gonna
Project
get on there
Nine
now.
Lines.
Okay, that's the other one.
Site
That's,
definitely.
Okay,
Where
check
do you
them
go?
out.
You Republican, Democrat?
I am a free-thinking individual.
oh, there we
Okay.
go. So he's not
Like,
into politics. That means.
Well, no, I love politics, but I care about the politics that actually matter, which is local politics.
Okay,
Like
okay.
if you're talking about national stuff and you're not talking about your own elected representative, you're playing a game.
Yeah.
Like and which it's a game that's not that can have no winner. You hold your local people accountable.
Yeah.
And then everything
right.
else falls in line. Take care of the little things, big things fall into place.
There you go.
Well, it's good. At least we have a president now with 4th of July coming up that's supporting the troops and says, you know, hey, I want to give money towards them and all that stuff. That's all good stuff.
There is one thing about like this parade. There is nobody who has ever served active who wants to be in a parade. I'm going to tell you right now, nobody. They're all gonna be bitching about it.
But we got to wrap this up tonight, guys. Thank you so much, Mr. Andy Plajanos. And we also had Haim Orzel. And then next to me, we have Mr. Jim Raya and Bonnie Scalisi and myself, Maddie Jones.
Everyone, be safe this weekend. Have a good
birthday.
time.
Yeah, happy 4th. Happy
Enjoy your
birthday,
weekend
America.
off. And we'll see you all next week.
All right, take it easy.
So long. Over.